Woo.
Hi.
Woo.
So, I've just seen the same guys. now I'm running, and I'm followed by Sogasu commentating. He's also a runner, a great runner of this game. And Bamboo, yeah, he's a good commentator, so he's here. So, well, I'm ready. Anyone of you going to start?
So we're starting in 3, 2, 1, go!
Good luck.
So right off the bat, I want to say there's only hype music throughout this speedrun, so enjoy. Also, what's up with the backstory there?
So we are playing the hero Firebrand, and as far as I know, Firebrand and the final boss of this game had a fight already, which Firebrand lost, and he landed in this Colosseum, and there was a big enemy, and
And Z4T0X has to focus now because this is a really tough boss.
yeah.
Nice.
I made it.
It's like 10 times frame perfect. So. No, yeah, actually, Firebrand is wounded because of that fight. So that's also where we only have like 4 of these heart containers in the upper left corner. And this is 100%, so Z4T0X is going to collect all the items, all the upgrades, all the heart containers. And that's because that will reveal the true ending in the end, and we definitely want that because decent fight. I never saw that attack.
Me neither.
This can still PB. Like, we're gonna see this has some challenging bosses, especially the last boss, which we're gonna see later. And if you play this game casually in the Japanese version, this boss is actually a little faster because he only takes the first phase. The first phase at least only takes 3 hits instead of 6 hits like it is with the US version.
Well, so that's kinda, he got the first collectible item, which he, as we mentioned, needs 400%. Which is a scroll. You can find 5 scrolls in the game to unlock magic spells if you buy them, but we are not going to see any of these spells in the run.
So during boss fights, I cannot really talk.
Yeah.
Oh.
I only wanted to
really
mention some sick double thumb mashing here by Z4T0X. That's really high level speedrunning we're seeing here. Yeah, we're glad for that.
Right.
That was good. Better than we can do, so that was good.
Well, I messed up a little bit. Like in this game, most of the bosses you can not force good RNG, but you can deny bad RNG. And I jumped a little bit early, and that's why Hippogriff, that was the name of the boss, went up in the air. And that was my fault. Like he should never do that. He would have waited like half a second, not even half a second, longer, than he would have not gone to the top. But this is fine. I lost maybe 5 seconds. That's fine.
Again, some small detour we're taking compared to the any percent route. And there are like, 5 bottles or something throughout this run?
What?
5
bottles.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, he's going to use these bottles compared to the scrolls, which he will never touch through the run. And another thing to mention is that right now he has to really care whether his shots connect with the enemy, because once he has a projectile on the screen, he is not allowed to shoot another one unless it despawned, or it connected with some enemy or so.
Yeah, the game has to gently grant you the ability to shoot 2 shots at a time with a power-up we're gonna get later. And this is Arma, right?
Yeah,
Arma
this is
1.
basically the general of Phalanx, who's the real bad guy. And Phalanx always sends his general to fight you. And he always has one of the crests that we're going to collect, which is always a power-up, and that looks like a decent fight. Really
It
good.
was really
Good
good
RNG.
RNG. Really good RNG. Like this fight is one of the worst in the game. really, really RNG heavy, and there's not much you can do to manipulate him. But it was really, really very great RNG.
World record RNG? We're gonna see.
Yeah, to mention, like, actually, Z4T0X has grinded out the any percent world record, which is ridiculous because it's so RNG heavy. But he did it, and he's going to take over the entire leaderboard.
I'm trying. I will try, but 100% world record is really, really strong by Le Hulk.
Shoutouts to our boy Le Hulk, great French speedrunner. And he still has the world record for the 100% category, but you know, let's see for how long.
So now Z4T0X is going to concentrate. Pretty much, we are not going to talk about that. Wow, he got it.
That was very
That's
close.
actually a really hard trick.
What is that called? Early hand?
Yes.
That trick? And we were talking about that power-up that lets you shoot 2 of your shots at the same time on one screen. And with that hand, we can do it. So you see, it's a very important power-up. You know, you see he's doing these shots here just so he can shoot twice. And you know, it sounds ridiculous, but you know, the game just have to. The game only grants you that ability if you're actually having that hand. And what you're usually supposed to do is like get another gargoyle here, right?
Yeah, you would backtrack there, but it's so handy that you definitely want to have that already, because you will actually see at that boss already he saves so much time with having that hand compared to not having it, that it's already worth it.
Yeah, and also the stage is really scary because after that trick you only have one heart, one bubble, whatever you want to call it. I guess we can call them hearts or just health.
Yeah.
And also, I guess we skipped talking about the gargoyles. So you're only starting with Firebrand and defeating the first boss. You get the ground gargoyle, and you can see Z4T0X tries to use him as often as possible, because he's just the strongest gargoyle. His ground shot, so like his attack he's doing when he's standing on the ground, does the most damage. And yeah, we kind of cannot use it, or you saw him using it there. Kind of can really not use it at all with that boss, because these eyeballs are always flying around. But if they go down, we can try standing on the ground here, like you saw Z4T0X just doing there. If the eyeballs are in reach for the ground shot, then he's always doing that. That's why also standing on top left corner here, waiting for the boss till he approaches us, and then shoot some ground shots, and they do enormous damage, and making this a really cool looking quick kill.
Yep.
So that was okay. Like, this fight is really, really difficult, since you have to optimally stay on the goo, and you have to watch out for the eyes to come out and keep jumping, and oh, it's a very stressy fight.
Yeah, also that thing about the ground gargoyle. Also, shoutouts to that beautiful mode 7 in the overworld here. Also, you saw the ground gargoyle. We're gonna use that a lot in the levels here, since he has this dash ability, which just, yeah, lags the heck out of this game. But eventually it's faster than just using the normal demon Firebrand or one of these other demons to just fly over the stages. So if the stage allows it, we're gonna use the ground gargoyle for the most part. You sometimes see the ground gargoyle, especially if you are trying to get rid of some of these obstacles that you can only get rid of if you dash through them with a ground gargoyle. And yeah, you can see we're having floor again, like ground again, and immediately switching to the ground gargoyle and doing the dash animation. Yeah, and this is the next boss, I guess.
Yeah, Flame Lord. There's also very RNG heavy boss, and there's kind of quick collect orb. I don't know how to say. Like when a boss dies, usually you will get an item. I have to be very little careful here.
Yeah, that's also
RNG.
pretty
Okay,
RNG.
nice.
Switching
Talking
to
is very difficult.
switching to the Firebrand. It's like a Firebrand version, right? Who can, like, his other attack can just yeah, what is it called? It's also Firebrand, but another attack for Firebrand, I
Buster.
guess. The Buster, Firebrand Buster, and that attack can break these little stones, and he could get another power up. So 1 health going into that boss fight. That looks,
Let me try it.
yeah.
Oh,
God damn it. That
That
was unfortunate, but luckily we are
Yeah.
here. I mean, I don't know.
Gotta try this again. Oh,
see it positive, like all that fire.
all the fire is gone. Isn't that actually helpful?
Yeah, kind of, I don't know.
Oh,
Where was the boss
let's
again?
see.
On the left, right?
Why are you going to the left? The boss is to the right.
No, there wasn't on the left.
Oh, that's actually.
Oh,
That's good.
how
yes.
about
Coincidence.
that? What a lucky coincidence. Yeah, sorry. Got you again, right?
You know, these guys just love to fool around.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
So like that's the one thing. If you're dying at the boss one time, then the forest is already burned down, and it needs to be burned down to be that. So you're actually able to pick up that health upgrade, which we're going to be needing for 100%. So that was phase 1. Pretty casual, since you can just stand next to the boss and shoot the ground gargoyle ground attack into his face all the time. You can also see a, in my opinion, rather advanced strat. Again, Z4T0X trying to use the ground shot, and yeah,
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you kill this boss and you're inside him while he dies, and you can save like 6 seconds, I'm not sure. Because you don't have to wait until the bosses, the corpse are away to pick up the item, and now I need to be quiet again.
So that's my favorite. Destroying 25 of these guys before all these torches go out.
oh, that's gonna be really close. Will he make it?
14, 12, 30, 18, 16. Oh, we got it.
First
job.
try, easy every time.
Yeah, I mean, this game is, when you begin with this game, this is kind of challenging, but once you have the hang of it, not that hard anymore.
So what are you buying here?
The Mercuries.
Oh, okay. So Z4T0X, maybe you can tell us
Yes.
something about that, because I don't know a heck about that. So
The Mercuries, like what they generally do is, if you're on a screen of a dungeon or a stage, let's call it that way, like for example the next screen after that one, and you use it, you will be respawned in the screen before.
I'm just playing the organ.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You did that beautifully. So, and then he's in the screen before. So what he's trying to do is, like, he has to do two paths in that stage. So there's like one path with the boss, and then there's another path with 2 more bosses. And he would have to play the stage twice, but he can try to use that Mercury while he's collecting the item that the boss is going to drop. And that way he will get the item of the boss and spawn at the beginning of the dungeon, uses another one, and then he will respawn at that point, so he skips the second time doing that first big screen. But it's pretty dangerous because it's a 2-frame window to get that. So you can fail it either that you will just not do the Mercury, or you will fail it that way that you do it too early and then you have to do that whole mess over again and to defeat the boss again.
Entering the next boss fight, Flyer, and again you see us switching to the ground gargoyle since the ground gargoyle shot, which yeah, Z4T0X is gonna try to use as often as possible since it does double the damage the normal ground gargoyle shot does. So, and that's also pretty cool, you know, just balancing around on his tail. It's a really cool looking boss fight, and actually really challenging.
That was a really. Oh, let's.
Okay, now it's
Wait
2-frame
for that.
window trick, very scary. Oh
All
my
right,
god.
you got it.
Phew.
That's really scary because if
Yeah.
you fail it the worst way possible, you lose like 2 minutes,
Yeah,
150.
you have to go all the way again and fight this boss again. But okay, whew.
It doesn't look too challenging, not too spectacular, but it's actually a really huge time save. So you can see we're spawning right again here. And yeah, just the 100% stage just requires these revisits to just finish all of that. So that was pretty well done.
So and that's already the first, let's say, recycled fights or so, like you know from many old SNES classics. The Hippogriff, but this time we're much stronger. Yeah, that was decent. Yeah, and look at that throw.
Some swag.
Validating the run.
And it's also good that he killed him on the right side of the screen, so he does not have to walk too much further to the right. Small optimizations, you know. Z4T0X
Again,
has
the
them.
sick organ music, I like that a lot, that tune. So yeah, I guess we can also talk about the any percent category of this game. So any percent is just a really short category which takes 10 minutes. You just have to play through the 4 stages. Are those 4, I guess?
3.
3 stages, and then you can immediately fight the final boss. But since you haven't finished a lot of the game, you can only fight the first of 3 phases of the boss. So yeah, if you're playing this casually, you can, you know, do whatever you like. You know, if you're a completionist, you take the 100% route. You try to figure out all these hidden bottles, hidden scrolls, what have you, and all the upgrades, of course. If you rather want to go quickly through this game, then you know, just finish what's needed, and you can play through this game in about roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah, and also this is Arma 2, which is like one of the toughest bosses, I would say. One of the tougher bosses. Also because of trying to always stand on the ground while attacking him, which makes it even more difficult to not get hit by these quick dives. Oh, nice fight.
That was okay. That didn't look too hard, but it's actually a very challenging fight if you want to do it really quickly. Because Arma has 32 HP, you have 8, no, well, 10, I don't know. You, you can be hit 3 times only, and well, on the 4th hit, the run is over. I mean, this is a very difficult fight. I mean, if you want to do it very slowly, then not too difficult, but, well, we want to go fast, right?
Yeah, also the crest that Arma dropped again, like this time the air gargoyle. And you see the stage, if you know where to fly and like where there's no enemy coming towards you, it's pretty relaxing after all these fights.
But yeah, almost time for one of the worst bosses in the game.
Oh yeah, oh, don't tell me about it, man. But I also found it quite ridiculous since the other gargoyles have wings as well. They only can jump and, you know, hover on the same height, but this is the air gargoyle which can actually rise for the first time, so yeah. That was kind of, you know, didn't make sense to me. Also getting another 100% item here, and we're entering the next boss, Grevon? Grevon, okay. So yeah, he's really annoying, and he has really fast attacks, and if you're able to keep him like sort of stun locked here, then it makes this fight looking really easy. Yeah, if not, then he's like jumping around doing that weird stuff here. He can like, you know, easily track you.
He's pretty trolly right now. He's baiting Z4T0X into thinking he's going to run and wasting a little bit of the time. Damageless, wow.
He does a lot of damage, right? 3 hearts or something?
Yeah, 3. I mean, this boss looked kind of easy, but this is one of the hardest fights in the game. Because if this fight is out of control, then there's almost no way to recover from that.
Yeah, you know me as a really talented speedrunner, and you know, casually it took me, I don't know, 2 hours or something to fight this boss.
I mean, this way. I mean, of course, this way.
No, not this way. I was doing some weirdish casual strat where I was like always switching between gargoyles to stay at the top of the screen so that he couldn't reach me. Because if he does his thing, if you give him like some space, then he just jumps around and goes crazy, and it's really. Yeah, I guess usually you're supposed to fight him a little later, I guess, if you're playing it casually. But you know, route-wise, this just makes the most sense. So that's why we are fighting him a little earlier.
So yeah, he could do it the other way around, going that way first, and then fighting the Arma, like that Phalanx General guy, for the 3rd time, and then he gets the ultimate gargoyle, which deals double damage, I guess.
I'm not entirely sure. I've never done that route, but it is like 15 seconds slower. I'm sure. I think.
Yeah, but it might be easier because Arma is kind of easier than Grievon.
If we ever have some time for donations, please let me know.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, I still have a $20 donation from Poo Wexel waiting to be read saying, GG guys on the Super Mario Land 2 race. Next time, let's hear Z4T0X sing the funky star song. And a $5 donation by Dirk Sue saying, good luck to you as well, Z4T0X, Phalanx, Quick Kill or Riot. Also, I want to wish Skipsy best of luck for his Super Castlevania 4 Whip% run tomorrow, which I unfortunately can't watch live. It was a nice event watching all of you struggling a whole lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back and live soon. Thank you very much.
Yo, shoutouts to our boy Derksu and special shoutouts to our boy Poo Wexel, who we're gonna see tomorrow again at Skipsy's Super Castlevania 4 run. And yeah, thanks for the donation. Keep them coming. I guess we can definitely hit the 5,000, so you know, it's for a good cause. Open up your pocket. And is there another No, I thought there was another Mercury card, so sorry.
No.
Yeah. So thanks for that. And that was Flyer 2, the reappearance again. So Arma 2, Flyer 2, right?
Yep.
And I guess the air gargoyle, that's his weakness, right?
Yes. You can also fight Flyer 1 with air gargoyle and do not do the Mercury cancel, but that's, I'm not sure, like 40 seconds slower. Like, this game is, if you want to play the Optimus threats, it's very hard to do and to learn. But if you happen to be like, let's do a little bit safer route, there are a lot of route differences you can take, which makes the run a lot more beginner friendly.
Sick hit. That's a frame perfect, right?
No, that's
not on
not.
this
Okay.
boss, but on the other bosses,
Okay.
it's kinda...
So that's Arma free, right?
Yeah, and that's Grieven's attack, which he's using, and that's Arma's weakness, and he goes down pretty fast-ish.
Also, it did totally go unnoticed that Z4T0X just flew through a totally black room because, you know, that's just how
and
he
that's
rolls.
God appearing, you know, small inside joke. That's all we blessed.
Yeah, like if you know the layout of the dark room, it's still kind of tough, but just gotta practice that.
Just like practicing dark rooms and Link to Boss randomizer, right? Easy peasy. Shout out to our boy Big Master.
Okay, now we are going to buy some potions, because now we have to do 2 Mercury cancels and and some revisits. Talking and playing is really difficult in this game, I'm telling you.
Yeah, now is some time for a lot of backtracking and such. So you bought 2 more Mercury cancels and 2, I don't know how they are called, sulfur, whatever that means. So you can use them to get back to the world map immediately. So you will use them pretty soonish.
Again, since we don't have the sea gargoyle, just using the ground gargoyle to damage boost through here. And also that armor you can see there, that Z4T0X only take half a heart of damage if he gets hit, because obviously the ground gargoyle isn't supposed to breathe underwater. But yeah, the armor lets us get through here safely. And, you know, not getting the hand down there because we got that already earlier. And yeah, passing through this graveyard. And those hands, man, those hands. I always get grabbed by those hands, but, you know, Z4T0X, he's an OP player of this game, you know. He doesn't get grabbed by hands. And yeah, passing through to the next boss, which is called Belf. And there's a pretty neat quick kill coming up here.
And so Belf will be not too hard, because you could actually immediately go to that boss, like once he's in that open world stage after the tutorial stage, let's call it that way. And yeah, we like to call Belf the step dancer, because he's like just stepping around.
Oh.
Oh,
I got
and
it.
he got it.
Oh,
Very good.
that was another Mercury cancel. That was really tight, but I'm glad it worked. This one does not cost too much time, only 15 seconds. But if I fail it, like if I Mercury too early and do not pick up the item, then I lose like 1.5 minutes.
So that was the second out of how many Mercury cancels?
3.
3, okay. So we're 2 out of 3 so far. That's pretty good. Like we said before, 2 frame trick. And, you know, I mean, I'm used to frame perfect tricks, so, you know, 2 frames. Easy stuff we're doing here. And you can see, again, this time with a revisit, taking all of the damage boosts through here. Earlier it was pretty scary going through here, because like with 1 heart left only, everything would one-shot you, and yeah, revisiting here, really more casual going through here. And again, you casually you're supposed to use the what is it, firebrand to
light up the torches.
To light the torches, yeah. And but you know, Z4T0X knows where to go, so just taking this upgrade and we're out of here. Another revisit, right?
Yes.
Oh, of the first
last
stage.
one.
So
Yeah.
that's also for just 1 heart container, but you know, you have to get everything for the true ending, so...
So why weren't we able to get that one? Oh, because we need the Buster, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so again, Firebrand's Buster ability, we didn't have that earlier, so that's why we gotta go over here again.
Yeah. And now I can use ground gargoyle. Is like in the first screen I just did like 4 seconds faster than just using the air gargoyle and fly over, which is really good beginner strat also, because the ground gargoyle is very difficult to do that here because there's a lot of lag also.
Yeah, and I think we also did not mention that, like, one of the big difficulties even is, like, there's so much lag in some screens. Also, like, the final boss, Z4T0X is going to try a quick kill, and that's also really laggy. We will come to that later, and, like, just long story short, like, the lag is one of the main problems in that game, because it's brutal.
Shoutouts to developers. You know, rather leave in the sick animations, the really nice graphics, and have some lag. But I guess I actually think it's they did the right choice. As far as I was following chat here, I can see most people who did not know this game are actually really liking the atmosphere and the just, you know, how they build the game, the characters, how they look like, and I have to see it's quite atmospherical and whatnot. You know, I really enjoyed just, you know, watching this from you know, watching Z4T0X's stream and whatnot. So I guess eventually it was probably the right choice to leave all the lag in at the cost of, well, maybe it was only the shadow, I don't know, it's like maybe only the shadow after the ground gargoyle is doing the dashing animation. Whatever, you know, lag is lag.
You know, they just took it for the team.
Yeah. Had to take one for the team. And we got, is it the third one coming in? Third Mercury
the
cancel?
last Mercury cancel.
Third and last Mercury cancel.
And one of the most RNG heavy bosses in this game, Crawler. Let's hope it goes well,
Yeah.
because that guy can easily take 1 minute away if he really wants to.
So again, equipping the legendary gargoyle. Does he do as much damage as the ground gargoyle?
More.
Even more, okay. You know, I'm an any percent runner noob, so you know, don't mind me.
You have to hit him 8 times with the legendary gargoyle to make this fight quicker, of course, and it's random when he opens. There's no way to manipulate him.
Yeah. So best possible RNG, of course, is if he always does the RNG where he raises up his arms and opens his eye.
Oh,
That
that
was-
was 3
that was
hits
good.
in. That
3
was like-
hits! Wow, sick.
All right.
3 out of 3!
Yeah. Cool.
Give that man a break.
Cool. Okay, that's scary, but okay, that was very great. So now we're going back to Atlantis. The most execution-heavy part of the game. Very, very difficult to optimize. A lot of RNG from the enemy movements. And I will not be talking here anymore.
Yeah, actually, fun fact, I remember Z4T0X telling me that he didn't know when he was a kid that you could just hold the Y, or was it the X button to swim horizontally, right, in a straight line?
Yes.
So yeah, that's if you're playing this game casually, and if you're struggling, you know, with the sea gargoyles, swimming physics and whatnot, you know, the X button might help out at this place. And
Like, if you played that game, you know how extremely difficult that part is. Especially with the Z4T0X having the hand equipped, so he gets so much damage in from each hit.
Like, every hit has to be super precise. Mostly when they are spawning, you have to hit them. Otherwise, they will be moving and trolling and... Oh, that...
yeah, like you can see if you're not hitting the top of their head or like their toes, then it's like really almost no way of passing them. Because just the corridors in here are so small, and all the spikes, of course, the blue stuff around, it's always hitting you.
There's a lot of health, but this is
Yeah.
fine.
We want some help because we're not equipping the Sea Gargoyle here for this boss fight. Of course, we want to equip the Legendary Gargoyle since he does OP damage. And what is that boss called? Hitodoron, right?
Holoturian.
Hodoturian.
The
yeah.
Chodoron was from Telegna.
So, yeah, he gives us some bad RNG right off the bat, where he just like blows
Well,
and
yes,
sucks,
this is-
and just, you know, making us fly around here. Not too much you can do. And just trying to stand
It's
here.
really bad RNG. Like, if it's getting too scary, I can equip the armor. But that should be fine. He needs
Oh, wow,
one more
that
hit,
guy.
but this is horrible.
Worst RNG possible.
Again.
This
Again.
is fine. This is okay.
Well,
Could have been a little bit worse, even.
Yeah. So Z4T0X is actually notorious for getting god RNG at this boss.
Never,
Where he
never.
just like doesn't blow or suck. He's just standing there AFK, and you can just you know, fire in his face as much as you can, and then this fight goes like what, 10 seconds or something. But that was still okay, you know, I guess. Overall, we're pretty good also regarding the estimate.
also, a thing we did not mention yet, I guess, the Ultimate Gargoyle has these green health bars because he takes less damage than all the others. That's really important for the last boss because he deals so much damage.
So this is another revisit we have to take. Because we have to kill one more boss here to get all the upgrades needed for 100%.
What upgrade are we getting here? Another health?
We are going to get, I don't
Maybe
know,
it's
this
also
is
still
gold.
okay.
This thing and 2 health upgrades.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I guess actually the game intends you to get the Sea Gargoyle again, but you
Yeah.
know, we don't need that feller. You know, we're fine with a. What is it, legendary or ultimate gargoyle?
That's the legendary one. The ultimate gargoyle is,
The one from the boss rush category, right?
yes, if you beat the game 100%, you will get the password at the end of the game, which leads you to the ultimate gargoyle state, and you can fight a hidden boss. But this is not included in 100%, luckily.
Yeah, that's true, Hundo, probably.
So
Final
that's-
boss, Dark Mind Demon.
That's also a boss that the game probably intends you to fight earlier, so that's why
That was a quick kill.
that was
It was lucky.
decent. Like he killed both of these body parts at the same shot.
No. Okay, now Dark Mind Demon. Now we are at the Phalanx Tower, the final stage of the game.
Our boy Eddie watching. The legendary Dark Mind Demon, yeah. Sorry.
So you might wonder, Z4T0X missing one of these, let's
Clowns?
say, trinkets,
Oh.
and one of these health points. But he's luckily going to get them in the last dungeon. And I hope he has all the rest, because otherwise, well, rip. Trending.
Yes. Not good RNG, but good enough.
Yeah, you know, why develop new bosses? You could just, you know, why when you can recycle all the old bosses, you know? It's like, we don't mind, you know? Dancing along with the animation.
So, now the tower, there's like not too much about it.
Yeah, this part is pretty straightforward. Just flying up. The outside part is kind of difficult to do well.
And you know, we all like these ghosts just
The OP goes.
doing like their woo. Alright.
Full HP. Are we technically 100% now?
Almost.
Almost.
There's one more item to grab here,
Oh,
which is
this part, yeah.
rather difficult to. I mean, not to grab, but
Yeah.
it's very hard to get out of the hole here.
Yeah.
And getting to the right side is because of the wind.
Yeah, and this, like the other ability of Firebrand. Kind of
This
annoying.
was
That
fine.
wasn't
This was
interesting.
Oh, it's okay. Nice backup strat.
So he could like also use the air gargoyle and not even being affected by the wind, but that's of course slow. So.
Now the last item we got was the Fang. Fang deals double damage. We'll be needing this, especially for the final boss, for the final phase of the final boss. And also nice here, of course. You only need 4 hits, otherwise you would need 8. Here also Grey one recycled, but this time he's not much of a threat.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh.
Well, as you see, he has all his inventory filled up. Like, there's only one spot missing, but he will get that after the final boss, so he's technically full.
Did you actually need that health refill? Just to be
Not
safe.
not for this fight, but we all
Okay.
pick it up. We all pick it up.
Oh, yeah, already
Just for
if-
the final
Yeah.
phase, for the quick kill.
Yeah, so if you're playing through this, the 80% category, you're entering at 9 minutes or 10 minutes something this fight. With the 100% category, of course, where it takes a little longer. And this is the first phase of 3 phalanx fights we're gonna see. Gotta use the air gargoyle to reach the proper height and
And so now he's like, oh,
oh my knee! Oh, it's hurting so much, dude. Oh.
you know, I was just making fun, but now I'm going to show you my real form, of course, because that's what final bosses do.
Yeah.
So.
This is the boss you fight in any person. I mean, of course, only with Firebrand. You need to hit him 15 times, I think. But, yeah. Well, when you get a specific amount of items, you will fight phase 2. And if you get 100%, you will have another phase after this.
Also, shoutouts to music.
Also pretty nice with the water going up and down that you don't need the air gargoyle to get height, get the proper height again.
Oh, that was actually really
That
good.
was
It was
pretty
okay.
good, yeah.
The health is really good, but this is no guarantee for the quick kill. The quick kill of the final boss is so
Yeah.
crazy difficult. Like all good runs die to this boss. Like there's a specific setup you have to do to do the quicker, and if you miss it, it's super tight and close, and very laggy. Then basically, if you're on PB pace and have a good PB, it's over. There's no way to recover from that.
And also, as you mentioned, like it might not even look that difficult, but if you play that, like the controls and also the additional lag, and it's a brutal lag, and it always changes depending on how many of these projectiles you're going to see on screen. So this is really difficult. So if Z4T0X,
I might even die here. If I'm going for the quicker. I might die, but I will try.
But I think we can get ready for time.
This is already over with the quick kill. That's what I mean, and now basically the PB would have been dead, because the quick kill of this fight takes in total with the intro 42 seconds, and now there's no way to recover really from that. I mean, I can...
Yeah, it's just these blue balls that are
This
like
is-
coming out of his stomach. They're so annoying, and they're always getting you out of that center there where you need to get in to get the quick kill. What Z4T0X is doing now is rather the casual strat, where you just hope that he opens up and you can get in one shot or maybe two shots if you get the right pattern. Also, these platforms coming from the left are really annoying. And yeah, you see, this is a brutal grind if you really want to go for the world record, since the quick kill is so unpredictable and challenging.
Not even the world record has a perfect quick kill.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can somewhat try a second, like, retry for the quick kill. I mean, the quick kill is just a strat to get in the center in front of his head there, which was obviously not intentional. This is the developer intended way to fight this boss, and you can see, kind of annoying.
This Z4T0X should be good because he knows well how to fight that boss.
Yeah. So, time is on last hit, right?
Yeah, 2 more hits and
Yeah.
he will be dead.
Okay. And you can even count along with fighting this boss, dude.
Yeah. 1 more. And time.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, really good.
Very good time. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
8 minutes underestimate.
Is
Wow.
this even real?
Is this even SpeedCon 2019? Sorry. Yeah.
The shots, man.
Shots fired, sorry.
Yeah, so that was Demon's Crest Hundo. Very challenging, very fun speed game. I can highly recommend anyone who wants to challenge the Hulk for getting his record in this game. It's incredibly hard. So shout outs to the Hulk, to Star Server, to Tamatron, really good runners of this game. They did a lot for this game, found new routes, recently found that early hand strat. Really cool community, really cool speed game. Yeah.
Good run.
Thank you very much. That was Demon's Crest 100% by Z4T0X. While we were